Over the last 18 months of owning my Koenigsegg, I became sick of being gaslighted and blamed for a lapse in service, which was from the previous owner.
For a long time, Koenigsegg has been known as one of the most amazing hypercars in the world. Fast, shiny, and almost perfect. But behind all the excitement and fame, there is a story not many people know.
Well, it did until the Koenigsegg Regera bricked last night. We drove it 4 miles. And it's already completely broke down.
A shocking $4 million problem has come to light, showing that even the most perfect-looking cars can have big issues.
Serious issues with the Regera and other Koenigsegg's, or just simply taking accountability for what they built. They try to silence any owner that speaks up.
What really happened? How could a company known for making nearly flawless cars be part of such a huge problem? Join us in this video as we reveal the details. Car YouTuber exposes Koenigsegg's biggest problem. For many years, Koenigsegg was seen as a company that could do no wrong. The cars looked almost unreal. The designs were bold, sharp, and unlike anything else on the road. The engineering also felt like something from the future. People believed that if you owned one of these cars, you were part of a very small and special group. It was not just about driving, it was about status, about being part of something rare and powerful. But slowly, and not all at once, that perfect image started to weaken. At first, the cracks were small. They were quiet. Most people did not notice them. Only a few owners began to speak in private. They shared stories about issues with their cars, about long delays, and about problems that did not seem to go away easily.
I know I have 2 other Koenigseggs on order. Both of those orders were placed years before my Regera ownership, and I've continued to remain hopeful that they'll get it right for me.
For a long time, these stories stayed hidden. People in this level of wealth often prefer to keep problems private. They fix things quietly and move on. Then, things started to change. The world itself changed. The owners were no longer silent. Many of them now had large social media platforms. They shared their lives, their purchases, and their experiences in real time. So when something went wrong, it was no longer hidden. It was seen by thousands, sometimes even millions of people. One of the moments that really brought attention to these issues involved the Koenigsegg Jesko. This car was one of the most advanced machines the company had ever built. It was extremely expensive and extremely rare. Yet, not long after delivery, one of these cars caught fire during a drive. The incident happened quickly, and the damage was severe. By the time help arrived, the car was almost completely destroyed. The company responded fast. They investigated the cause and explained that a hydraulic line had failed. Fluid had leaked out and touched hot parts of the engine, which caused the fire. They promised to fix the issue, inspect other cars, and improve their systems so that something like this would not happen again. On the surface, this response seemed responsible and professional, but the problem did not end there. Even though the explanation made sense, people could not stop asking one simple question. How could something like this happen in the first place? This was not an ordinary car. It was a machine that cost millions of dollars. Buyers expected near perfection. They expected that every part would be checked and tested many times before delivery. Then, only a few months later, another Jesko was seen producing smoke and flames during a high-speed run. The company again responded and explained that this was not the same type of issue. They said it was engine-related and did not cause serious damage. Still, the public reaction was already shifting. To most people watching, it did not matter if the technical reasons were different. What they saw were 2 similar events involving the same model within a short time. As more people began to talk, a pattern started to form. It was no longer just about one fire or one car. It was about a growing number of stories. Owners spoke about long repair times. They spoke about cars spending more time in service than on the road.
And the Koenigsegg starts smoking really bad in the first 10 minutes of our drive. We told Koenigsegg to come pick the car up. We have 2 days and we're leaving on this rally.
They also spoke about updates and maintenance that were difficult to manage. Part of the issue seemed to come from how these cars were built. Koenigsegg produces a very small number of vehicles each year. Each car is made with extreme care, but also with very new and complex technology. Many of these systems are unlike anything else in the industry. That level of innovation brings excitement, but it also brings risk. New systems can fail. Small mistakes can have big effects. Car YouTuber revealed that another issue was the support system around the cars. There are not many service centers. There are not many trained technicians. So when something goes wrong, it can take time to fix. Owners may have to wait weeks or even months. For a car that costs so much money, this becomes very frustrating. At the same time, expectations remained very high. Buyers were not just paying for performance. They were paying for a flawless experience. They wanted reliability, speed, and strong support. When even one of these parts failed, it stood out in a big way. All of these factors began to come together. The fires, the breakdowns, the delays, and the public complaints all started to build a different picture. It was no longer just about a company making amazing cars. It was also about a company trying to manage the challenges that come with pushing limits. The image of perfection did not disappear overnight, but it became harder to believe without question. People began to look more closely. They began to ask more questions. And most importantly, they began to listen to the voices of those who had real experience with these cars. But as these problems kept building and more questions began to arise, one thing became harder to ignore. What happens when the owners themselves finally decide to speak out and share what they have really been dealing with? Let's find out. Public complaints and a growing pattern. As time went on, the situation became more personal and more visible. One of the most talked about cases involved Steve Hamilton, a well-known collector who owns several high-end cars. His experience brought a lot of attention because he was not just any customer. He had spent millions and had supported the brand for years. Hamilton shared his struggles with the Koenigsegg Regera, a car that was supposed to represent advanced technology and smooth performance. Instead, he described a very different experience. According to him, the car spent long periods in service. It was often not working properly. At times, it could not be driven at all. He also spoke about how frustrating the situation had become. He felt that his concerns were not being taken seriously. He said that he was tired of being blamed for issues that he believed were not his fault. These statements quickly spread online and started a wider conversation. The company responded through its founder, Christian von Koenigsegg. He explained that the car had been bought second-hand and had not received proper maintenance for several years. Because of that, it had missed important updates. He also stated that the company had still offered help without charging for it. While this explanation provided context, it did not fully settle the situation. Hamilton later reported even more problems. His Regera broke down again shortly after being driven. At the same time, his newly delivered Koenigsegg Jesko developed a hydraulic leak and showed warning signs. Both cars became unusable within a very short time. These back-to-back issues made it difficult to see the situation as simple bad luck. Instead, it started to look like a pattern. Other owners also began to share their own stories. Many of these stories were shared privately at first, but the number of complaints kept growing. Another major concern involved the Koenigsegg Gemera. This car had been announced with great excitement. It promised incredible performance and new features. Many customers placed deposits early, expecting delivery within a few years. However, the timeline kept changing. The design itself also changed, especially the engine setup. Because of these changes, delays continued to grow. Some customers waited for many years without receiving their cars. For a product at this price level, such long delays created frustration and uncertainty. People began to question whether the company could deliver on its promises within a reasonable time. All of these issues pointed to a deeper challenge. Koenigsegg was trying to do something very difficult. It was building some of the most advanced cars in the world, but it was doing so with a very small team and limited resources. This created a gap between ambition and execution. On one side, there was incredible innovation. The cars were fast, powerful, and unique. On the other side, there were real-world problems. There were delays, breakdowns, and service limitations. Bringing these two sides into balance proved to be a major challenge. At the same time, the environment around the company had changed. In the past, problems could stay private. Today, everything is shared. If negative experiences continue to grow, they can slowly change how the brand is viewed. In the end, the situation is not simple. It is not just about cars breaking down. It is about expectations, trust, and consistency. The company has already shown that it can build incredible machines. The question now is whether it can also build a system that supports those machines in the way customers expect. If it succeeds, it can become even stronger than before. But if the gap between promise and reality remains, the quiet complaints of today could become the widely accepted truth of tomorrow. After all the build-up and anticipation, what did it really feel like to finally get behind the wheel? Keep watching for more details. A first drive filled with power, pressure, and hidden realities. Driving the Koenigsegg Agera HH for the first time as an owned vehicle is an intense and almost surreal experience. Even for someone familiar with the model, operating it as an owned car creates a heightened sense of reality and emotion. Physical reactions include sweaty hands, a racing heart, and a nervous energy that does not easily dissipate. The first drive in one's own hypercar is a unique experience, one that can only occur once. The weight of this moment is heavy, emotionally and psychologically, and is difficult to fully process in real time. The vehicle itself is complex to operate and requires careful attention. Simple functions like engaging reverse involve multiple steps using paddle controls, highlighting how different the car is compared to standard vehicles. The backup camera, a common aid in everyday cars, is largely ineffective due to its placement near the exhaust, making rear visibility limited. This design choice emphasizes forward performance and control over conventional ease of use. Additionally, small operational issues, such as malfunctioning gate sensors, non-responsive electronic components, or fast blinking indicator lights, demonstrate that even vehicles of extreme cost and engineering sophistication are not immune to minor complications. These issues, while relatively small, are magnified due to the exclusivity and high expectations of the car. Once on the road, the car's performance is overwhelming. With over 1,000 horsepower, even light throttle input produces immediate and forceful acceleration. The interior cabin amplifies this effect, with engine noise, vibrations, and sheer speed combining to create an intense sensory experience. The physical impact is likened to carrying a live, heavy engine on the back, producing sensations of exhilaration and being slightly overpowered. Even at approximately a quarter throttle, the vehicle demonstrates power levels that challenge most drivers' perceptions of control. The experience is wild, fast, and fully immersive, requiring full concentration to manage the energy the car produces. The Agera HH's significance is reinforced through comparisons to historically iconic vehicles, such as the McLaren F1 and Ferrari 25 OGTO. These comparisons highlight that the car is not merely a fast vehicle, but an object of engineering excellence, design, and historical relevance. It represents the pinnacle of automotive achievement in its generation, emphasizing precision, craftsmanship, and a passion for high-performance driving. The car stands as a symbol of rare quality, exceptional capability, and automotive prestige, underscoring its position among the most desirable vehicles in the world. Financially, vehicles of this caliber are classified as luxury cars and subject to specific tax and depreciation regulations. Cars exceeding certain value thresholds but under weight limits may only allow partial annual write-offs, even if used entirely for business. For instance, a car purchased for hundreds of thousands of dollars may only permit a fraction of the cost to be deducted each year. These rules demonstrate that outright purchase does not necessarily maximize financial efficiency. Strategic options, including leasing or structured financing, are often used to optimize tax benefits while still allowing full access to the vehicle. This aspect emphasizes that owning a hypercar involves not only performance and enjoyment, but also careful financial planning and compliance with complex regulations. Overall, the experience of driving and owning the Koenigsegg Agera HH combines emotional intensity, technical complexity, unmatched performance, and financial consideration. The first drive captures the thrill, power, and overwhelming nature of the vehicle, while also highlighting the importance of precision, preparation, and management. It is not simply a car, it is an object that commands respect, admiration, and careful stewardship. The Agera HH's combination of rarity, advanced engineering, and regulatory considerations makes it a vehicle that is both exhilarating to drive and significant as a financial and cultural asset. It is a unique blend of emotional, technical, and financial dimensions that few cars in the world can match, making it an extraordinary automotive experience for anyone fortunate enough to operate one. After exploring the many challenges and risks of handling hypercars, could the exceptional engineering and meticulous design of Koenigsegg offer a glimpse of the rewards and thrill that make these cars worth the effort? Let's delve deeper. Precision engineering and hypercar mastery. The engineering and design of Koenigsegg show a very high level of care, focus, and attention to detail. Every part of the car is treated as important, even the smallest ones that many other companies may ignore. For example, even something as simple as a sun visor is carefully redesigned just to reduce a few grams of weight. This may sound small, but it shows how serious the company is about performance and efficiency. Nothing is seen as too minor to improve. Each part is studied, tested, and refined again and again. This way of working helps create cars that are not only very fast, but also very well built and balanced in every way. The company does not only focus on speed and power, it also works on new ideas and systems that can be useful outside of hypercars. Some of its engine technologies are designed in a way that they could be used in normal cars in the future. These ideas can help make cars cleaner, more efficient, and better for everyday use. While many other hypercar makers focus only on making cars look good and go fast, this company also thinks about how its work can help improve the wider car industry. This makes its approach different and more forward-thinking. A visit to the factory shows how special and rare these cars really are. During such a visit, there is sometimes a chance to test drive one of the cars. This is not a normal or simple drive on public roads. Instead, it can include driving at very high speeds in a safe and controlled place, like a private runway. This kind of setup allows the full ability of the car to be tested and felt. It gives a much deeper understanding of how the car performs under pressure and at extreme speeds. This kind of experience is very rare and shows how confident the company is in its machines. The level of trust in the car is also clear from how it is tested. At very high speeds, strong braking can be applied without even holding the steering wheel, and the car still remains stable. This is something that would be very dangerous in most vehicles. It shows that the car is built in a way that keeps it balanced and controlled, even in situations that seem unsafe. This kind of performance can only come from careful design and strong engineering. Even when the steering is turned quickly or sharply at speed, the car does not lose control. Instead of spinning out or crashing, it stays steady and continues moving in a controlled way. This is very unusual, as most cars would struggle to handle such sudden movements. The ability to stay stable in these moments shows just how advanced the system and design really are. Another important part of the design is the use of very light materials. Carbon fiber is used in key areas, including the wheels. These wheels are much lighter than normal ones, even though they are large in size. This helps the car move faster and respond better, since less weight makes everything more efficient. The use of such materials is a big part of what makes the car perform at such a high level. Over time, the cars made by this company have continued to improve step by step. Much like the well-known Porsche 911, each new model keeps the main idea but improves on it in many ways. Cars like the Agera RS and the 1-to-1 show the highest level that this design has reached. With each version, the cars become better, stronger, and more advanced. This steady progress shows a clear goal to keep improving and to always push the limits of what is possible. High-performance hypercars offer a unique mix of challenges and rewards. They can be complex to operate, require careful attention to technical details, and involve significant financial planning. Yet, the experience of driving these vehicles is unmatched, providing powerful acceleration, intense sensory engagement, and a deep emotional impact. The engineering and design of these cars are often extraordinary, showcasing attention to detail, advanced technology, and innovation that push automotive limits. While owning and operating such a vehicle comes with obstacles, the excitement, prestige, and sheer thrill of the experience make it a remarkable achievement, balancing the challenges with many positive aspects. What do you think about the challenges of Koenigsegg? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching as we explored the incredible world of high-performance hypercars and the intense experiences they bring. If you found these insights exciting, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video on your screen to dive even deeper into more stories. See you there.